This morning, the clock is ticking and the tension is building in the Trayvon Martin case. A few hours from now, the parents of the unarmed teenager will hold a news conference with civil rights activist Al Sharpton. Just minutes ago, U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder also vowed to file federal charges if they're warranted.
In recent weeks, Justice Department officials, including Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division Tom Perez and the United States Attorney for the Middle District of Florida Robert O'Neill, have traveled to Sanford, Florida to meet with the Martin family, the community, and local authorities. The FBI is assisting local law enforcement officials, and representatives from the Community Relations Service, the Justice Department's peacemakers, are continuing to meet with civil rights leaders, law enforcement officers, and area residents to address and to help alleviate.
Eric Holder, all of this unfolding as the lawyers for the shooter, George Zimmerman, quit his case in an extraordinary news conference. They say Zimmerman's dropped out of reach so they can no longer represent him.
We've lost contact with him up to this point. We've had contact every day. He's gone on his own. I'm not sure what he's doing or who he's talking to.
And the attorney for the parents are rattled that George Zimmerman is in hiding and out of touch. The family fears he's a flight risk.
If the charges come forth like we believe and think rightfully should come from the special prosecutor, then the question is, can they get him?
So now the attention turns to the special prosecutor, the Florida special prosecutor of the case. She's Angela Corey. She says she'll release new information within 3 days, but she's not handing out any clues to what that new info might be. CNN's George Howell is in Sanford, Florida. So what do you suppose it might be, George?
Carol, could be a number of things. Could very well just be an update to the facts of the case. It could very well be a decision in this case. No one can say with certainty at this point, but this situation where George Zimmerman no longer has a defense team, it creates several questions. One big question, if it is indeed a decision, Carol, how would the state attorney reach Zimmerman? It wouldn't be through his attorneys, clearly, because the attorneys are no longer able to reach him. So several questions coming out of this after that bombshell announcement that they are no longer representing him. We even had some experts, Carol, come on our air to suggest that we shouldn't be surprised if we see this prosecutor move forward with the decision a little sooner, given that announcement from yesterday. But she has been very clear that she has been very thorough with this investigation. She's taken her time to look through all the facts of the case. Take a listen to what she had to say.
If you make an arrest on probable cause and you can't prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, then that's a short window of time that the perpetrator will serve in jail. We always try to work with the police to build stronger cases before we make the arrest.
So Zimmerman no longer talking with his attorneys, but we do know that he reached out to a Fox News host about the case. That person confirmed that he did speak to someone who he believes was George Zimmerman. We also know that Zimmerman reached out to the prosecutor, but again, the prosecutor decided not to talk to Zimmerman about the case, given that he did not have an attorney with him over that phone conversation. We also know that his defense team, his former defense team, they were caught off guard, Carol, by a website that he created, therealgeorgezimmerman.com. Initially, those attorneys thought that it might have been a hoax. They later determined that it was legitimate, but they had no idea that that was happening.